Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Robles' Renegades. Today we're going to be showing off a brand new custom plus some stuff I picked up and a few other things that I'm going to rationalize for some shelving. First things first, we're going to actually start off with the new guy. This is based off of Chris Craighead, aka Obi-Wan Nairobi. I went through the time to cut down 2 Valaverse ARs and 1 MP5 for the optic. As you can see, everything's sort of like Franken-gunned together with Gorilla Glue. As you can see from the puffy residue, I will be doing paint touch-ups on this and the body armor, because that same puffy residue is on the body armor. And luckily I don't really have to do that on the pistol, because I did cut off the belt pistol and throw it on a drop leg holster just because I got lazy and didn't really want to do any more cutting, which is also the reason why he has a 1911 instead of the correct Glock that he carried into the Nairobi siege. But I made sure to try and keep it as close to Craighead's original toolkit from that event in his life, just because I wanted some sort of maximum authenticity to the figure. And then the balaclava head is actually from a Condor. I used this from, I think it was the re-release? Series 1 of the re-release, I can't remember. I always keep my figures unmasked anyways, so it doesn't really matter on that front. The next thing we're actually going to show you is a really good 1:12 scale weapon supply box, which is this one. This is the Control Freak Modern Warfare 3 2023 Control Freak Deluxe box. If you can find one of these on the aftermarket, because I don't think Control Freak is selling these anymore. They've moved on to the Black Ops 6 Deadshot Daiquiri cases. However, these perfectly fit any and all 1:12 scale weapons that you could ever want. There's a Valaverse M4, a 3D print, a resin pour AK. There's some spare heads in there. There's even a spare belt kit, a Fortnite AK style weapon, some more resin pours, and it all locks up nicely. Whoops. And as you can hear, it is made out of solid aluminum. So this isn't going to dent easy, not unless you really, really throw this thing at something. And then along the same vein of Call of Duty, we have my custom Captain Price. Now, the only few things that are custom is I added a drop leg holster, 1911, a Camelback, which I took a mold from the McFarlane, the other McFarlane Call of Duty figures, and I used hot glue as a pour. So this is pretty durable as long as it doesn't stay outside in the heat too long, because then it won't set, or it'll, start to melt again. And then I used a piece of bendy wire as the straw from the Camelback up into his chest. And the only other modification was just adding a rubber band sling to his weapon, which was stock from McFarlane. And keeping up the Call of Duty trend for a little bit more, at least explicitly, is this guy. This is Derek Silverside, or at least one of them. I don't remember if I mentioned this last video, but I had a character in Star Wars The Clone Wars Adventures. It was an online MMORPG that I created called Derek Silverside. My brother created Drea Silverside, and then my cousin sort of went off the beaten path and created somebody else. But this one is based off of how, in my mind's eye, I envisioned him during the events of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, because when I needed a character, I brought Bell out of Mothballs. He is made from a modified 3D, either 3D print or resin pour Outback head on a McFarlane Series 2 Ghost body, with McFarlane Series 2 Frank Woods' backpack, some random pouches from other McFarlane figures, as well as a resin pour radio set on the backpack straps. He's also got a Halligan bar, which I've had since I was a little kid, and an MP5 and a Valaverse AK-47. The MP5 is a resin pour. Now, why did I choose these two weapon systems? Well, in the game, Bell is initially a Russian operative working for the Perseus organization, which is a rogue element in the Black Ops Cold War campaign. So, the AK-47 is based off of the Russian in him, and then the MP5 is because in that game they use MK Ultra to turn him into one of the good guys. So that's why AK, MP5, you know, brainwashing. It's all fun. All fun. All jokes. Shoot. Now, Price and Bell, I had to move for a minute because A, they fell over, and B, because I found this. This was at a convention here in California, SAC Anime in Sacramento, California. I bought this for $55, and it is single-handedly one of the best purchases I've ever made concerning buying Valaverse Series 1 on the second hand, because I got a really good deal on it. It is still 100% mint, new in box. It probably won't be for long because action points are like crack to me, especially after the second mailway announcement, so I'm probably going to snip this off. And then, of course, the toy inside, which is the most important part, and from what it looks like, it is 100% mint sealed in box with the original figure, so we are going to be making this as another custom troop builder in air quotes, because I'm not going to be cutting into this figure, I'm not going to be painting on this figure. I'm going to throw body armor, helmet, pistol, weapon on it, and then we're going to call it a day. Alright, as I said in my last video, I'm also building up a small collection of crossover characters that have appeared in Call of Duty. Next one up is this NECA Starlight. I am 100% aware that Mayfix or Medicom, one of the import companies, are doing a line of boys figures, and she will be replaced by that version of Starlight as soon as it comes out, because while I am very happy that I have this NECA figure, the proportioning looks really dodgy, the arm looks off, it looks like, even in sort of like this, where it's an almost neutral pose, she just kind of looks like an alien. They did not do the actress any justice with this figure, so I will be replacing that in order to have it more married up together. But a NECA figure I can fully and wholeheartedly vouch for is this NECA Halloween 2018 Michael Myers. Now, for those of you who are currently unaware, you'll be like, wait, what? Why do you have Michael Myers here? Well, he has appeared in 2 Call of Duty games now. Call of Duty Ghosts as a score streak DLC character, where if you completed a certain mission, you would be able to play as Michael Myers in the game, with the suit, mask, and even a theme song, No Knife, Only an Axe. And that was in Call of Duty Ghosts. And now he is a full playable operator within Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3's Haunting event, where he takes his look from the original Halloween movie series, with the exception of his standard, which is sort of a green jumpsuit instead of the iconic blue. But that's only because, I don't know, I guess they wanted to throw in a Rob Zombie reference there. And then last, but definitely not least, is this actually really awesome Shredder from the Ninja Turtles vs. Batman range of figures. Honestly, I got this not really expecting much, but the articulation is so smooth, he comes with a ton of accessories, and I'm in love with the soft goods cape here. It is probably one of my favorite Shredder figures that I've owned outside of like the 2012 animated Turtles, which I finally have that Shredder for, although he is nowhere near complete and he uses one of Leonardo's spare ninja swords. And certainly, also last but not least, because I just found him, my Hellboy figure from, what was this? 2003. This is a 2003 Hellboy movie figure based off of his actor, Ron Perlman, obviously. Sculpting is still fan-friggin-tastic. The articulation is smooth. He's got a ball joint in his hand, which I'm not going to pop off this right hand of doom because he is a 2003 action figure. There's likely a seized joint in there somewhere, some way, although his waist is like incredibly loose up in the upper diaphragm joint, but that's fine. He, of course, comes with his big revolver, and then since, you know, he can stow the revolver in the holster, you can have him as, you know, trying to keep the cigarette in his mouth or whatever. I'm really in love, like this. I know this is a PVC overlay, but this is like really soft. I like this overlay. It's not rigid like 99% of McFarlane or Marvel capes. And then, of course, his tail's articulated in a couple points. You can see it move up and then shift side to side right down here. Single jointed knees, but that's okay. It gets the job done for what he needs to do, as well as a disc and rocker for ankle movement. And unfortunately, he's got ball joints in the hips, which won't be seen anyway, since his trench coat kind of hides those pretty well. So, yeah. Darn it. That's for this episode of Robles' Renegades. I'm going to turn off that light because now we've got enough of it. Come on. Focus. Now, whatever. Well, this is for this episode of Robles' Renegades. Thank you, as always, for watching. I promise there will be more higher quality content soon. I do have stuff in the pipeline that is being worked on right now. I just need to get my PC back up and running. Thank you for your patience. One love and stay blue.